All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my singles and tag team competitors, and welcome to the Friday Night Throwdown Lowdown, hosted by the one they call the freaky one. I don't think I'm that freaky. Fritos, and also your two-time Booker of the Year, also current fantasy football champion. But tonight's show, we started off with Cody Rhodes making down the ring about to start a promo when he was interrupted by Jacob Fatu and said he was going to beat him and Sammy if it wasn't for Drew McIntyre getting involved. Then out of nowhere, Nick Aldis says, Drew's not here, so I need you to get out. This is Cody's time to cut his promo, which it felt like a parent talking down to a young kid saying that it's his turn with the toy. That's what I got from that, which I thought was hysterical. But then out of nowhere, Drew is in the crowd. He bought a little box saying he bought his ticket, that he's going to be here for the show. Ultimately, that led to everyone just getting really frustrated and upset. But this is starting to get interested because we're trying to figure out what the storyline with Cody, because he's in the chamber and with Fatu there too. He's still upset about Drew taking him out and all that. I predicted last Sunday that we're going to have a match with Sammy and Cody, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But maybe it's Jacob and Cody. I can see that happening too as just a single standoff match, but who knows? But it was a average way to get the show going. Our first match of the night was Ilya Dragunov versus Tama Tonga. This is going back through the tag team match from last week. These two men going at it. Ultimately, Tonga defeated Dragunov in the match, but at the end of the match, we had Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews coming out trying to save him. But at the very end, we had Uncle Howdy appeared on the big screen to taunt the NFTs, still with Solos carrying the lantern from Bray Wyatt. That was a great match overall. We know what we're getting from Dragunov, and Tonga is really shining a lot more now with WWE. He's shined well over across seas in Japan. We've been seeing some of tease, it seems like, where he's going to break off from the NFTs. Maybe join a semi-Japanese faction, go on his own, something along those lines. I don't for sure what the plans are with Tonga, but I'm interested to see what they have cooking with him, because at one point he was interested in going for the U.S. title. So I think this is what they're going to do. They're going to push him somewhere, and I believe they can push him pretty far. Maybe not the main event, but he's close to being somewhere. You could potentially maybe further down the line for the right story, right arc and all that. You could see him be there. Then we had Jay Cargill come out, give a little promo saying how she dressed being Jordan Grace last week. And she announced that she's going to be at Raw because of Liv showing up on Valentine's Day with Dom eating chicken nuggets and just watching that match. So she was definitely sending out a message saying she's open for whoever, but she's going to be that bitch. Which, as she was walking out the ramp, started our next match for the Elimination Chamber. Charlotte Flair, Kiana James, and Nia Jax. While Jade was still in the ramp and at the front, Charlotte was coming out. Jade was getting her face, so I don't know if they're teasing something for further down the line. They've teased Charlotte and Jade for a hot minute. They teased it, last year? So I really do want to see this match, but ultimately, we'll talk about how potentially that's going to be further down the line, because in this triple threat for the Elimination Chamber match, you have a powerhouse in Nia Jax, you have Kiana James, which I kind of feel like she's been in no man's land recently, just being behind Giulia and Charlotte Flair. Personally, I thought Charlotte Flair is the number one favorite, but you can also see Nia Jax being there. But they put on a banger of a show. I did believe there was a botch where Charlotte did get the 3 count and Kiana jumped late. But ultimately, Keon James stole the win from Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax. As at the very end, Charlotte Flair had a figure four on Nia Jax, and James took advantage of that opportunity and pinned Charlotte to secure her spot in it, which I'm not upset, just shocked. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Is she going to get out from Giulia's shadow and stop being her crony, her manager? She's got the talent. It's just more of what's the plans going on from after Chamber. Is she going to be? She's not going to be the final. I think she's going to be one of the first ones eliminated, but it's just interesting to see what their plan and idea of what they're going to do after that. Then we probably come to a match that Teddy Long loved, and I loved just a pure entrances. Kit Wilson's versus Oba Femi from last week. Kit Wilson came out with a huge pop, as of course, because everyone loves his theme song. Teddy, we all love his song. Then we get Oba coming out, just pure aura farming coming out of his entrance, and yes, everyone loves his walk. Virgil, all right. Just get on board, okay? But we started off the whole match with Kit Wilson sliding out, grabbing a mic, doing some slam poetry, basically on Oba. Oba loved it. He's like, share another, please, share another. And couldn't find an older one, but it was insulting Oba. And then, yeah, squash match. It was a squash. Yeah, not much to say here. I mean, you knew Oba was going to squash him. They're building up Oba for something great going on. We still don't know what brand he's going to be on. They kind of teased something with Rusev last Monday Night Raw. If you didn't pay attention, Rusev had a Rusev Day shirt, so that's the only way you could really truly make him that super baby face and bring back Rusev Day. But later on the show, Oba was leaving, and The Miz stopped him, saying, I could be that mentor, that Cena, since he's not longer here, and teach you everything in between the ropes. He said, oh, in between the ropes? Okay, I'm going to talk to Nick Aldis. He goes, wait, what? Setting up a match for next week. So I do like how Oba's jumping back and forth. I truly like it. Then our next match of the night is Tiffany Stratton versus Alba Fire. This was due to Tiffany's first match back within SmackDown being against Chelsea Green, who accidentally injured her ankle. We had Chelsea come out with Alba Fire and throwing out some stuff to the crowd, which I loved. It reminded me of the Miz and Johnny Morrison back in COVID time when Miz had an ankle injury, that leg injury, and had that wheelchair and just had all those gadgets. It was, to me, I thought it was a fun callback. I do love that. But ultimately, we all knew who was going to win. It was Tiffany Stratton hitting Alba with the prettiest moonsault ever. But yeah, nothing too much to write on. They're definitely trying to build Tiffany up past since her injury and coming back from Rumble and building her up for a Chamber. Then we also see the box for Monday Night Raw. We had a couple segments in there as well. We had R-Truth just being goofy, saying it's an award. I thought we were getting a Christmas Story little nod there, mention how he's had many awards. But then we had the tag teams that they're backstage looking at it. Then we saw John Gargano on top of it, posing like a sad cat. Which has led into just pure chaos when speculating what's in the box or who potentially is that box for. Leave a comment to what you think. Is it going to be a prestigious award like R-Truth said, or if it's going to be a certain superstar? There's rumors of Chris Jericho that were floating around, but no longer anymore. Heck, maybe Danhausen. WWE's had their eye on him, and I would love it. I think it'd be a fun way to bring Danhausen, something dangerous, something evil, something good. But going into back to SmackDown, we had our next match of the night for the Elimination Chamber of the men's side. Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, and Trick Williams. And what can I say about this match? This match was nothing but short from amazing. You have the athleticism from Trick and Carmelo and that history they have in NXT, which Triple H was smart and creative, Road Dogg and all of them. You would treat this exactly like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, just how they've had that feud just keep going and going. They could build it back up, and whenever they have the chemistry, they're friends. They've got everything that can do all that. So Damian Priest was that odd one out in this, but he definitely showed his stuff in the ring. Ultimately, we had Trick Williams defeating Damian Priest and Carmelo Hayes with a trick shot on Priest, which I'm not surprised. I mean, I think some people may have thought Priest in this spot. Definitely didn't think Carmelo since he was holding the United States Championship. So Trick, I believe, is the right call. Especially you got guys like Javon Evans. You're showcasing two young guys that I think definitely could use the shine and spot, especially in the chamber, which I think what they can bring into the ring and with everyone else, I'm down for it. Then we have another match from last week. It's Giulia versus Rhea Ripley. Io was originally announced as Giulia's opponent for tonight, but for some reason the WWE changed it to Rhea. Not mad about it at all. But they started out fierce, lock up, both got into the ropes. Giulia took a chance to slap Rhea, making a clean break as the show cut to a break. Rhea hit the ring post in her shoulder, and Giulia gave Giulia the upper hand. Then eventually Rhea took control and was about to secure the win, but was attacked by Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who are trying to go after those tag team championships. When then Io came out to the ring to save her from the attackers. I thought the match itself was good. Giulia's starting to slowly grow on me, but not all the way. I don't know what it is about Giulia that I'm not feeling it. But with the Nia Jax / Legend, it makes sense. You're trying to feel like these women's tag teams, you're just escalating. I'm happy how they're kind of doing. They're jumping around lately, and I'm fine with that. I do love the team of Rhea and Io, but I wouldn't be opposed to Lash getting a championship and just raising her stock a bit within the company. So we'll just keep an eye on that women's tag team because that was announced for next week. Then comes to our main event tonight, Randy Orton versus Aleister Black. This took place due to a backstage segment where Aleister's like, we want the old you. I'm going to try to bring that out. And Randy says, don't worry, you'll get the current me in tonight's ring. Orton doing his typical stuff, hit him with a draping DDT and had Black and pace for RKO. The Dutch Destroyer rolled out in a ring to avoid it. The Viper hit a DDT on the floor. But while the ref was turned back when Aleister came back in the ring, Drew McIntyre came out of nowhere and nailed Orton with the WWE title. Cody chased Drew McIntyre through the arena, but it was too late. Aleister secured the win after hitting a Black Mass kick, and that was it. Then we were seeing Cody in the stands after chasing Drew as Drew was higher up in the crowd, just laughing at the chaos. I like it. I mean, definitely, Orton, they mentioned Orton being in the chamber in 8 days, so this is definitely going to play an effect, probably, and guessing if he's going to be one of the winners. I doubt it now. We definitely doubt Cody, but we'll keep an eye on see who is going to win the Elimination Chamber. But that has been your Friday Night Lowdown, hosted by yours truly, the freaky one, Fritos. And remember to tune in on Monday Night Raw Dog and who's next in NXT with Virgil. We also got our AEW recap, hosted by Claude, our Big Daddy C. Oops, sorry, throwing your government name out there, on Sunday to cover both AEW shows. Then, of course, we get all the boys together on Sunday nights. So tune in for all this content. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And always keep those booking pencils sharp and keep on booking. Peace.